All right, you should be on page 220. Today is a short lesson. We're just going to be matching up some expressions with their line graph or their chart graph. We've seen these earlier in the year when we worked on area and volume. And when we did area, were they just length times width?
Yes.
And that's all we're doing today. We're just matching up different little expressions, because isn't this like finding area? Because we're just multiplying two things. 2/7 of 3. 2/7 of 3.
That would be
Which one of these am I going to be looking at? The first two, because the others are in 5s and 10s, and these are broken up into 3. So 2/7 of 3 and 9/7 of 3. What's going to go with this one? 2/7 of 3. We know this one is going to be above 3. How? Because it's by an improper fraction, which means 1 and 2/7. So it has a whole number part. So we know that these two are going to go with these two. What's this one going to go with? A, B, or C? C, because it's just a little bit of 5. And this one's going to go with D, because it's over 5, again, because we have an improper fraction. Starting back with the first one. Well, we'll just go to the first graph, so I don't have to keep going back. Look at our graph. Is this going to go with one of the ones multiplied by 3 or 5? 5. What fraction's going to go with that? 2/7. Is that right?
Yeah.
So this one?
Yes.
What about this one?
9/7 and 5.
9/7. Makes sense that it's over a whole, doesn't it? We got a whole one and then 2 more. What's this one going to go with? 2/7 times 3. And this one?
9/7 and 3.
9/7 times 3. All right. So now we're going to be doing just like we did yesterday. Greater than, less than, or possibly equal to. 2/7 of 3. Less than or greater than or equal to 3.
Less.
9/7 of 3.
Greater.
Greater, because it has a whole number part. 2/7 of 5.
Less.
9/7 of 5.
Greater.
Who ran farther? It says Priya ran to her grandmother's house. Jada ran twice as far as Priya. Han ran 6/7 as far as Priya. Claire ran 14/8 as far as Priya. And Mai ran 3/5 times as far as Priya. Which students ran farther than Priya?
Well,
Victor?
Jada and Claire.
We know Jada did because it says she ran twice as far. And how do we know Claire did?
Because it says far as.
that's like
It's a hole.
Because it's going to have holes, isn't it? Okay, so those two ran farther than Priya.
Well,
So which ones didn't run as far as Priya?
the ones
Because this is only 6/7 as far as her and 3/5 as far as her. List the runners in order from shortest distance to longest run. First of all, who do we know ran the farthest?
Priya.
I mean,
Priya.
sorry.
Claire.
Jada.
Right now, I hear these two the most. How would I compare that?
Well, first we need to find out how much Kyra ran to find out how much Jada ran to find out.
No, we don't have to know how far Jada ran.
Because twice is 2 holes, and 14/8 is only like a hole and 6/8.
So I told you I could
Okay, so Jada ran the farthest, so she goes at the bottom. Then who?
Claire.
Then Claire. Then who?
Mine. Priya.
Priya.
And mine.
And then, okay, now how do we know between these two? What could we do to make sure between these two? Because they're kind of close. 3/5, 6/7. That's, what can we do? What do we do when we compare fractions?
You have to have common denominators.
Find a common denominator.
Well, we can multiply.
What's a common denominator of 3 and 5? I mean 7 and 5?
15. I mean, no, not
35.
35. 35. Because 7 times 5.
Hold on, let me draw.
You said 7 and 5.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said 7.
All right, what would I have to do to 5 to get 35?
7.
So I would have to do it here too.
Oh,
21.
What would I have to do to 7 to get 35?
Times 5.
So if I do it here, I get
30.
Now, is it easy to compare them?
Yes.
All right, who would be next?
Tom. Wait. Yeah. Hey, whatever his name.
And then who ran the absolute least?
May. Or mine.
Mine.
Whatever.
Okay, so from least to greatest, we have Mai, Han, Priya, Claire, and Jada.
Mine. Where's mine? Oh, I see mine now.
That was 51.
All right. The P represents how far Priya ran. Write the initial of each student in the blank that shows how far they ran. Well, who'd we say ran the most?
Jada.
Who'd we say ran the least?
Claire.
No.
No, mine.
Then who? Who ran just almost as much as Jada?
Claire.
So who's missing? Han. Now, if we look back at Han, he ran 6/7 as far as Priya. 6/7. So, would he be over here or over here?
Right there.
He'd be around here, wouldn't he? Bada bing, bada boom. Told you it was short. Peace.